It's interesting, this past week I've had this conversation with 3 different guys. All of them are athletes, or they lift weights, or they're into some sort of bodybuilding. They would talk to me about their life struggles, how their careers or their relationships or just their satisfaction out of life, that they weren't getting it. They were basically on the brink of just quitting, like, hey, I'm done with life. I don't want to do it anymore. So I just brought up something that would relate to them more closely to their situation, and that's weightlifting. And when you lift weights or you bodybuild or you're out there struggling, it's hard. It's not easy. And you don't go back to lifting weights because the weights are fun to lift. Yeah, some people do. They lift it because it's fun to them. But it's always hard. If you're doing it right, it's always hard. But you keep coming back. And these 3 guys, I asked them, do you keep coming back to lifting weights? They're like, yeah, I keep coming back to lifting weights. It's hard though, right? Yeah, but why do you keep coming back to lifting weights? What is it? It's hard, just like life. It is hard, but you keep doing it. Why do you keep coming back to doing it? Well, I like the gains that I get afterwards. I like what it produces in me. I like the strength that I get from it. I like the outcome after being sore, after hurting, after being under so much pressure. They didn't correlate that to life. That they didn't say, oh, hey, lifting weights is hard, but life gets hard too. The interesting thing about lifting weights, if you're doing it right and you're pushing yourself, when the weights get too heavy for you, you're gonna need a spotter. You're gonna push as hard as you can. You're gonna get up underneath that heavy weight. You're gonna get into a place where you're uncomfortable. But when you're at the place where you can't lift it yourself, that's what the spotter's for. The spotter is there to lift the weights off of you, to push you to the brink of just failure, and then the spotter relieves you from that. The thing about this though, check this out. In life, we have a spotter. If you haven't figured it out already, I would have quit life already. Life is hard. Life is just as hard, way harder than working out. But when life gets hard, we have a life spotter, and that's God. That's Jesus. Jesus, when life gets so heavy and the weights get so hard on our shoulders and we can't lift it, that's when Jesus comes in. Hey, let me get that for you. I see that you're struggling. Let me lift that for you. And if we run to the struggle, if we say, hey, I know this is hard, and I allow myself to be placed under that pressure, allow myself to be placed under those places of hardship and grow from it. I don't put myself there because I love, the same thing with weightlifting. I don't love being under pressure. I don't love the hurt, the pain, the soreness of life. I don't love those things. But what it produces, the things that being under all the pressure produces is amazing. And that's what makes us grow as people, as human beings. That's what makes us grow in our spiritual relationship with God. When life gets too hard, you have a spiritual spotter, a life spotter that's just gonna lift that up for you. But if you're not there, if you're not bringing him to the gym of life with you, he's not gonna be there to spot you. Plain and simple. If he's not your life gym partner, if he's not your life gym buddy, then who do you have to spot you? So you know what I'm gonna do? With all that said, with knowing all that, when life gets hard, I'm gonna train. I'm gonna continue to go back to the gym. I'm gonna continue training. I'm gonna continue training in life, and I'm gonna bring my spotter with me. I'm gonna bring my spotter to the gym with me. I'm gonna bring my spotter to my life's gym with me, and he is gonna take care of all those things that become too heavy for me. I'm gonna put myself under that pressure, and every single last person that's dealing with those same things should be doing the same exact thing. Let me place myself in the place of hardship, place myself in an uncomfortable situation, and when it gets to the place where I can't lift it anymore, where it comes to failure on my body, my spiritual sense, who I am, hey, I have someone to take care of me. I have someone that's gonna spot me for me. So I'm gonna continue to train in life. Bring it on. My question to you, do you have that same spiritual spotter?